Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the show. My name is Jared Lee, and I'm joined, as usual, by my lovely wife, Jamie Lee. So, Jamie, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Jared. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's I can tell you, it may feel like fall, considering so many, Halloween parties are starting, food and wine has started, which we'll talk about. But outside in Florida, it's still hot and muggy, and doesn't feels like summer, but. I only know that because I was in the garage all day printing shirts. So it's just as hot. I was like, oh, maybe it'll be a little cooler. No, it's not at all. But,
We're so close to September, you guys. We're so close.
Yeah, but September sometimes is hotter than August and stuff is the weird thing.
See, okay, right. I mean, at least in Florida, it's like that.
That's a weird one to get used to, by the way, is September sometimes is the hottest month, which is strange. I hope it doesn't hold true, but.
Maybe this year it'll be different.
I hope so. I'm ready for fall, personally speaking, but. I was going to say, it was funny, last night we did a live stream for Club 32, and last night, so our kids go through spurts with Bluey. They kind of do this with all shows. They watch stuff, and they go to something else, and eventually they come back to it. So lately, they've been watching Bluey again, which I'm always okay with, because I actually like Bluey.
Right.
But if anybody has kids may know this, like the Pass the Parcel episode.
Which is like hot potato. Basically.
Well, our son was very much into this, so we created our own Pass the Parcel. I think the mistake of this was right before bedtime.
Yeah, so we took a stuffed animal rabbit, and we put it in.
I will say you thought of it, which was genius.
Oh, it was.
But it was right before bedtime.
Yes, it was my idea. So I have a bunch of packing cubes, like just kind of out with the suitcase stuff. And so I grabbed the bunny, the stuffed bunny, and put it in one of the packing cubes, and then another one, and another one, so he could just like unzip them and like pull them out. So in Pass the Parcel, you're unwrapping the present. Well, he's just unzipping the packing cube each time.
And we were all participating.
We were all doing this, yes. And then we decided to live stream.
Well, obviously we did this, and then it was time to go to bed, and so he was like, we let him take it in there to his bed, and we're like, okay, usually he'll fall asleep. We're doing the live stream, and I think we're like 30 minutes in a live stream, and he starts getting mad at different points because he can't zip them back up in the dark, and then it got to the point where we're like, okay, buddy, we got to put this away, you got to go to bed, and he was furious. But we explained to him, you can play with it in the morning, so he finally went to bed, and then the first thing in the morning, he wanted to play with it. Right. So just for those parents out there, if you do want to do your own Pass the Parcel, it's a great idea. Don't do it before bedtime. Don't make our mistake.
Don't make our mistake.
When it was happening, I was like, this might be a mistake,
problem.
Because... Yeah, but it's a great idea, but
he's little, you know.
But they're into the Bluey Pass the Parcel right now. I don't know if his Lucky's Dad rules or not.
I don't know what we were playing, honestly. Who knows?
For me, honestly, Lucky's Dad, best character in the show.
Okay.
He's low key best character, but
I'm
not gonna talk about that all today. But yeah, like we talked about before, Food and Wine has started.
Food and Wine has started.
Nothing like Food and Wine in August.
It's not in July anymore.
That is true.
Just be thankful
it's not in
for
July,
that.
although I still feel it's too early.
I think it's too early too.
As I do with the Halloween parties as well. I think it's too early. I feel like August is it's a no-go for fall stuff, but it has started.
I was going to make an Instagram post about, the starting of Food and Wine. I was going to go back and get a picture I took from last year at Food and Wine, and then I remembered we didn't do Food and Wine at all last year. At all.
We didn't do it at all?
At all, Jared. We had so much other stuff going on that it literally because like when it started, like the first day of the festival, we were in Missouri. So we didn't catch it that first week or the first 2 weeks. And then when we would go to Disney, we would do other things, and our kids were with us. And when our kids are with us, Food and Wine is like impossible to do any of the food booths or the marketplaces or whatever. So
Food and Wine's not really a kid-centric event.
It's just gotten harder.
Yeah.
So yeah, but this year we're definitely going to do it. We'll do it next week. We'll be in Disney next week for just short little trip. But we'll be there and do that. But I was going to talk about the Eat to the Beat lineup real quick.
What do you got?
So I think we're actually going to be there at the end of the festival, which is the last weekend of Eat to the Beat. I want to say it's like the 17th and 18th. But 98 degrees is going to be there. Yep.
See, you think I like them. I just like the idea of saying it's really Lachey outside because of the band name.
I don't. You like them. Come on, man.
I don't recall ever, I don't hate them. I don't like them, though. They're just there.
Well, we've got them. They've got Boys to Men always comes.
I would rather see Boys to Men than I would 98 degrees.
I think it's the beginning of November that Boyz II Men will be there. But one band that is kind of exciting for a lot of people is Yellow Card. Yellow Card will be there in September.
That brings me back to the early 2000s.
It really does.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yellow Card, one of the only bands implement a violin in their music. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Oh, dang. That's a little truth bomb for you.
I'm just saying.
Jared.
If you listen to their music, they have a violin in there. So
okay. But I'm excited for Food and Wine this year. You know, we actually get to try stuff. My parents are here to be able to watch the kids, so we'll have more opportunities for that. But yeah, it has started officially today on Thursday. So
it has.
It has.
As has this show started. See how I did that segue? They can't teach you that. That's just talent.
Let's just start the show.
That's just talent right there. So we have some things to discuss today. We have some news, and we also have a new, I guess you would call it a debate segment, because Jamie wants to debate me.
I'm going to debate.
I don't know why, but we have a debate about rope drop versus closing the park, or park closing, if you will.
Yeah, so, I thought that was a good idea.
Yeah. So we will fight on the show, and we will see. But
who is right? Is it better to rope drop, or is it better to close the park?
I guess we will see. But before we get to all that, just want to remind everybody, if you're watching us on YouTube, or if you're not and you want to, then you should. And you should go over to YouTube. You can catch us at CTM Podcast. We have video versions of the show over there. We have show clips as well you can check out. And then, of course, if you're listening to us on just good old trusty old-fashioned podcast audio form, wherever you're listening, whether it's Apple or Spotify or wherever, we greatly appreciate it. Just ask you please subscribe and leave us a review, as we would greatly appreciate that. It helps us continue to grow the show. And if you want even more information, if you want more content, if you want to be able to contribute to the show, then you should also check out Club 32, and that's our private group, where if Club 33 is a little too expensive, you know, the yearly dues are pretty high there. Club 32 may be a little bit more affordable, as, you know, we don't require you to put a $10,000 down payment down to join. It's probably more than that for Club 33. But in there, we have, it's like our own little Patreon. So we have live streams. We have Cool Kids Kitchen, which is a monthly live stream. We have the Club 32 show, which is a weekly live stream. We would chat with everybody. It's a great time. We have the Clubhouse coming up, where members of Club 32 become part of the show. We have in-park live streams. You get 25% off of CTM apparel and 1901 Candle Company products. Let's see. You got a private Facebook group. You got private podcast feed with music loops and the content in there, all sorts of stuff. So if you want to go check it out, you can go to ctmvip.com. We have monthly or yearly options, and you can even do a free trial if you want to try that out. Or if you want to do a yearly, you can get a free t-shirt. So either way, you get something for free. So again, if you want to check it out, ctmvip.com is where you go for that.
Okay.
So, all right, let's get to the first news story, which is Disney After Hour events are returning in 2025.
Yay. Disney After Hours events are very popular. It's very early for them to announce them, don't you think? I don't remember them announcing them in August.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember the timelines in which they have announced them in the past, so I don't quite remember.
I mean, it's usually like middle fall when they do it for the next year, but whatever, not complaining. So this year they're going to be at Magic Kingdom, Epcot, and Hollywood Studios. And I say this year, I mean 2025. So the dates for Magic Kingdom are going to run January 6th, 13th, 20th, and 27th, February 3rd, 10th, 17th, and 24th, March 3rd, 17th, 24th, and 31st, April 7th and 28th, May 5th, 12th, and 19th. That is a lot of after hours events. So it looks like they'll all be on Mondays. At least the ones in January, which is interesting. The event tickets for Magic Kingdom are $175 to $185 per ticket, and they will take place from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. So that's for Magic Kingdom. If you want to go to Epcot, it takes place on February 27th, May 8th and 29th, June 19th and 26th, July 10th, 24th, and 31st, August 7th, 14th, 21st, and 28th, and September 11th and 25th. Again, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. as well. And these tickets are $155 to $175 per ticket. And then Hollywood Studios, it's going to be starting from January 22nd all the way to September 3rd, which is quite a spread. And that's January 22nd, 29th, February 12th and 19th, March 5th and 26th, April 1st and 30th, May 14th and 28th, June 4th, 11th, and 25th, July 2nd, 9th, 16th, 23rd, and 30th, August 6th, 20th, 27th, and September 3rd. This one is 9:30 to 12:30. This one is 9:30 to 12:30 a.m. on most dates. There's 2 in there that are 10 to 1, and the tickets are $155 to $185 per ticket. Now, all of these tickets will go on sale for resort guests beginning September 4th. Everybody else, it goes on sale on September 10th. Something to note. So whenever they would announce after hours events previously, they would only do the first 4 months. So from, or 5 months, from January to May. And then they would announce, okay, then we're also doing summer. They have literally just said, okay, this is what we're doing from January all the way to September.
Well, I think that they're trying to allow people to plan more in advance, maybe on that as well.
Which is fine. I'm not complaining. It's just interesting. But
the price wise, I remember when these first started back up, they were it was closer to $100 a ticket.
We paid $95 because we're APs.
Yeah.
But yeah, these have gone up in price in the last 6 years, 7 years.
Quite a bit.
You can get a $30 discount if you're an AP or a DVC member, but only on the Epcot and Hollywood Studios events. You cannot get it on Magic Kingdom this year.
Interesting. So no AP discount at all for Magic Kingdom?
Mm-mm.
Really?
Nope. And those are the most expensive ones. I get that because Magic Kingdom, I think, is the most worth it.
It has the most stuff to do. And I think that's the one that it sells out the quickest. Yeah.
So
we've done them in the past. The very first one I did years ago was not a great experience. It was the very first one they did after hour events as almost like a test run for a little bit. At that time, I think they were $160 a ticket, and they did it very select few nights. We didn't do it then, and then they went away, and then they reintroduced it. And then on the event,
cheaper,
it was cheaper. I think they had oversold it though. And then that was the one where I got stuck on Pirates for most of it.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago. But other than that one, we've always had a really good time doing these.
We did Villains.
Villains.
That was fun.
We've done 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Now the price as it goes up, that becomes how much do you think it's worth it? I still think if you're looking to ride a lot of stuff without waiting much and just, I guess the closest you could ever get to experiencing a park all to yourself, these are probably the closest you're going to get to it.
Yeah.
It's still a good time. Now, do you still get, I don't see it on that you still get the drinks and the popcorn included. So
yep, still get the drinks, popcorn, ice cream.
That is a nice perk, especially in the warmer months, because you can just go up and get soda and drinks and stuff like that the entire night, like ice cream and popcorn. So having that perk included, which again, I think Disney should do more of this stuff because that stuff doesn't really cost them any money. Not much, not in the grand scheme of things, but you can charge, and I say even at the higher ticket points, you're still getting those things included, so it does make it at least feel better. So, but we've always had a good time doing these.
Yeah.
We've only done Magic Kingdom though. We've never done Hollywood Studios and Epcot.
Right.
They've done these at Animal Kingdom. I don't think Animal Kingdom would be worth it. Epcot becomes, I don't know if it's worth it at Epcot.
So I did a Trip Tales a while back. Someone did an Animal Kingdom one, and it was so spread out because it's such a big park that most people spent most of their time at Flight of Passage.
Right.
And it was quite a trek to go back and forth between Expedition Everest and Dinosaur and all the way over to Flight of Passage. And not a lot can be open for after hours. So I get why they're not doing Animal Kingdom.
Yeah. I think the one that would be the most worth it would be Magic Kingdom.
I totally agree.
Hollywood Studios for me would probably be second, and then it would be Epcot, Animal Kingdom. So I think that's where I would probably fall with that.
Yeah. But I think the prices too, you're talking about them going up every year. I think they're comparable though to a day ticket. Otherwise, because I think as long as day ticket prices are going to go up, so are the after hours tickets. You know what I mean? They'll be around the same.
I'm
price.
sure they are. If people just stop paying it, then they'll quit raising the prices, I suppose. But and I guess that's a thing that a lot of people will use this as instead of getting a day ticket, they can get an after hours event, and you could essentially experience just about everything in say Magic Kingdom in a couple of hours versus an entire day waiting in line and things like that. So it can be an expedited way to take advantage of
Mm-hmm.
Less people in the parks and things. But
Absolutely. And it's pretty dead too. And you can get in with your ticket as early as 7 p.m. So you have like almost 6 hours.
Yeah.
Or more.
Yeah.
Or less,
as long as they still, they got in a pretty good flow there where they weren't overselling it. If they oversell these events, they lose their luster pretty quickly. So as long as they keep it where, I think when we did it, the most wait was for like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and I think it was like 25 minutes at the peak, sometime maybe 30. But for the most part, most things were always you just walked right on, or you waited like a couple of minutes, and that was it, which is really nice.
Yeah. I would like to do Hollywood Studios. Now that we've done Magic Kingdom a couple times, I'd like to do a Hollywood Studios one.
Well, remember we did Hollywood Studios they did those early morning magic hours.
Oh, yeah.
So it was early. So you had, I think it was 2 hours, and it was in.
No, it wasn't even 2 hours.
It was like an hour and a half.
It was an hour and 20 minutes or 15 minutes.
So you got access to crazy. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. No, we did it at Magic Kingdom. That's right. It was Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
We had a pass holder early thing for Hollywood Studios.
Right, but we did an early morning magic thing. It was at Magic Kingdom, and I think you had access to some things in Fantasyland.
Yep.
And then included with it was like breakfast.
Yes.
I remember doing that. And I actually enjoyed it at the time, but I don't remember how much we paid for that, but
it was less than 100. Yeah. It was like 70.
But the fact that you had breakfast included was kind of nice, but I remember we rode Seven Dwarfs Mine Train like 6 times that morning.
Yeah.
But you only had like 3 or 4 rides you could do it from. But so I think.
Oh, that's right. It was Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Peter Pan, and Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
Those are the 3.
So they've experimented with these before. I think now they haven't done those early morning ones again. I think they're probably pretty set on doing the after hours ones, which I think those are much more popular. So.
Yeah.
But anyways, if you want to do those, they are available to do.
Yeah. So very fun.
You can always contact Zip Travel. All your travel needs.
Absolutely.
Vacationwithzip.com. Okay. Next story we have is new features have been revealed for the Island Tower at the Polynesian Resort.
Yeah. So this is all about the Island Tower, which is the new DVC tower going in right next to the bungalows over at Polynesian. And but we've got some dining details. It looks really pretty. I'm not gonna lie. So, one of the things that they talk about is it Wailulu Bar and Grill? Wailulu is how you say it?
I think.
Okay. And this is a indoor and outdoor seating bar and grill that has views of the castle. And if you look at the concept art that's on the show notes, if you want to take a look, you can actually see the castle like out the windows, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So they talk about that a little bit, and then they talk about this Moana's Voyage, just like a splash pad.
That looks pretty cool.
Which is it's got Moana's boat basically in the middle of it.
It looks like canoe. It has a Moana like statue with it too, is what it looks like.
Yes. Oh, you think that? Oh, okay. I didn't even. I guess that is. Right.
I mean, it looks like Moana, unless you have a character actor out there playing Moana the whole time, but it looks like it's like part of it.
It looks pretty cool. And they did say that the tower will also be home to Cove Pool, which is a brand new zero entry pool offering more opportunities to relax for both vacation club members and people staying at the regular hotel part. Mm-hmm. So you can do both pools. So that's something. Mm-hmm. Is it an infinity pool? It is not. It is not an infinity pool.
Not like the concept art.
No. They also talk about some terrace garden views. This basically says members and guests staying at the Island Tower Edition will enjoy exclusive access to 4 tropical terrace gardens. Each terrace garden will feature vibrant artwork, lush foliage, uniquely themed seating areas. The distinctively designed hideaways will offer families a serene locale to gather and take in the views during their stay. Speaking of views, these oases will offer picturesque views of Disney's Oak Trail and Magnolia golf courses or Seven Seas Lagoon, making it a spectacular place for viewing Magic Kingdom fireworks. Okay.
Interesting.
So if you're staying there,
they're like viewing rooms.
It's a viewing room for the fireworks? Okay.
Or just, I suppose, if you just want to go in there and relax.
But it says exclusively for exclusive access for guests.
Well, they basically,
so it's not anybody can
where
go
they're
there.
building this hotel is where people used to go watch the fireworks. So they're basically making it they've monetized to be able to watch the fireworks from this place.
Fireworks viewing. Of course they did.
It's kind of funny.
Of course they did. Yeah. So that's just a little more information about that. And it, as a reminder, it does open December 17th. So if you would like to book, again, you can contact vacationwithzip.com.
So I'm of two minds of this hotel. So the details I'm seeing about it and like everything like that, it looks nice. I've said all along,
Looks beautiful.
It'll be a nice hotel. It looks nice. It and all these things. It's got features. The pool area looks cool. Like it has little things again that I think in of by itself, I'm like, that sounds really nice. Do I think this belongs at the Polynesian? No, I don't. I don't think the Polynesian needs it, and I don't think it belongs at all because it's a completely different aesthetic than the current Polynesian resort. And I just think like it's just almost when you look at it now, obviously it's under construction, but like it just doesn't fit where it's at. So
okay.
But the other thing about it is what I'm curious about. And again, that's obviously just my opinion about. I love the Polynesian. I don't think it needs more places to stay and more people in that resort. It's kind of nice the way it is. Because my worry with this is you have a lot more people that are going to be staying at this, Tower Hotel, this DVC hotel. What does this do to the existing things like the main lobby in there with Ohana and the bar and all the restaurants in there? Like I feel like those are just going to become overly crowded now. Even though this hotel has its own food, those people are still going to go over to the main part. So I feel like it's just going to have a lot more foot traffic in and around Polynesian now. That's going to kind of mess with that vibe and feel of it currently. We'll have to wait and see on it. But again, the hotel itself looks nice. I just don't think that the Polynesian needs it. And I don't think this belongs there in terms of the way it makes everything look. It just sticks out like an eyesore to me. And also people have noted as well, someone, I forget who it was, pointed out in the group and made a post about it saying, looking at from the monorail, like it messes up the views of even like the wedding pavilion at Grand Floridian. So like sightline, I mean, again, this is the thing too, like Disney was always so obsessive about sightlines and what you saw and creating aesthetics. And I feel like this is just DVC. It's going to make money. And again, it's a nice hotel. I just don't think on the other side of things, it needs to be there and it messes with the sightlines.
I'm going to reserve my judgment until we actually go in and see it. But the whole idea of having a tower versus the bungalows that we have now, it is different. You are correct. Does it fit? I don't know yet. We'll have to see actual product.
Yeah, I mean, seeing it and like obviously, again, I have no doubt that the hotel itself is going to be very nice. But I think at this point, it's fair to even point out it just doesn't fit the aesthetic of the entire resort. And also too what it took out, which is like the luau and stuff like that.
Oh, the spirit of aloha.
Yeah, like I think that was a cool thing that they offered at the Polynesian. That instead of that, we just have a tower, another and I don't know how many more DVC towers we need. I know Disney thinks they need more, but
it gives me vibes of like you can see accents of the Polynesian influence in it and in the concept art, but actually seeing the finished product and what actually we get. It'll be interesting to see the differences because there always are differences.
Yeah.
So
I feel
if it's anything like what we got with Epcot versus the concept art, I really hope we get closer to what was shown.
I don't, from what I've seen the construction, I don't think it's going to look like on the outside what the original concept art was for sure.
I don't know.
I feel like any time that there's spare land and like Disney just sits around and go, what do you guys think? DVC tower? And like, yep, okay, DVC tower. Like just whatever.
Yeah.
Like we got 10 square feet. What do you guys think? What DVC tower? Just throw it up.
Yeah, but it looked beautiful, and I'm excited to see something new, come about with Disney. So hopefully it does open in December, and like they said, and it'll be great. So let's cross my fingers.
Well, I'm sure it'll be nice, but whether I'm going to spend the money to stay there is
another
question.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get to stay there. We'll see.
We'll see. We can just wave to the people in their rooms and be like, "Hello,
hi.
How are you enjoying your stay?" And
what do you do for a living?
What do you do? A lot of doctors here, I've noticed. Okay. All right. Next story we have is, as it happens every year now, Typhoon Lagoon and Blizzard Beach are in an ongoing war and protesting each other, and they're swapping places. And Blizzard Beach will reopen November 4th. And Typhoon Lagoon, in response, in protest, will close or go down for the season on November 3rd.
Because they're like, I can't be open when you're open. I refuse.
I feel like there was some sort of spat that went on.
Or
yeah.
I really don't think we'll ever see them open at the same time again.
Here's a question. Do you think they tear one of them down? Because I kind of do.
Ooh, I don't know. Do we need 2 water parks?
Obviously not, because they just keep rotating.
I mean, at one point we had 3.
That's what I'm saying. You go from 3 down to like, I don't think many people, I mean, obviously some people go to them, but like they're not in near the demand that the regular theme parks are.
I mean, the demand is so low. They're giving away
right.
giving away admission on your first park day for free.
Right.
To one of the parks.
So the question I think would become, here's how you could do. You could close down one. Which one's the oldest one?
Typhoon.
So I could you close down Typhoon, you just Blizzard Beach, whatever. Or let's say you leave open Blizzard Beach, you tear down Typhoon, and then you build a new water park that's maybe closer like Volcano Bay, and then you just close down the 2 and just have one big nice one eventually. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying they will.
I don't know. Typhoon is more popular than Blizzard Beach. It's also bigger.
Yeah.
So,
well, maybe either one. You choose one. I could definitely see a point where they just decide to go with one only. But they may like the idea you can swap them because they can just do the, obviously water stuff needs more maintenance and things. But yeah, I agree. I don't think you're going to see both of them open in the near future anytime soon.
Nope.
So.
But yeah, so they switch out, which makes sense to have Blizzard Beach open in the winter.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Totally.
Of course. So, all right. And the last story we have is there are only 16 dates left for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party that have not been sold out.
September 22nd, 24th, and 26th are left, as well as most of October, except for the week of where most of the fall breaks line up. I think it's like the second week of October. Mm-hmm. That whole week is sold out. And then the last 2 dates of October. Everything else is open still. So get your party tickets bought. And on another note, Jollywood Nights, all the tickets are still open. All the dates are still open, as well as Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. So
there you go. Okay. All right. Well, that's it for the news. But Jamie does have a poll time.
Poll time.
It's poll time. Tell us what you think. Every opinion counts. Come on and link. We're discussing it all. We're taking a stance. Poll time's the segment. Let's give it a chance.
Thank you, Jared. All right. I have a scenario for my poll time this week. I said someone gives you $100 to use however you'd like to at Magic Kingdom, but you have to spend it on one thing. What do you choose? I was like, oh, this is interesting. I want to see what people say. 42% said they would spend it on either Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party or Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. I was like, that's interesting. Mm-hmm. A lot of people would spend it on that. I'm going to include also, because a couple people brought this up, after hours. People would spend it on a Disney after hours as well. Mm-hmm. So like a party or a special event in general. 23% would buy souvenirs, spirit jerseys, tees, lounge flies, ears, etc. 17% said behind the scenes tour, like Keys to the Kingdom or like a VIP tour. They put it toward that. Mm-hmm. 11% said table service meal or character meal. And then we have some people that said snacks or Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique or fireworks dessert party, but only 1% had those. So most people want to go to a party. They want to party it up.
So people are like $100 snacks. I just want snacks. Well,
someone goes, I was tempted to say $100 worth of spring rolls. I was like, that's not a bad idea.
I mean, yeah. Choices could be made. I mean, if you're with a group of people, good time. I probably would lean toward experiences over just stuff.
That's exactly what I said. Yeah, always experiences over stuff. That's always how I feel.
Souvenirs are, for the most part, you're paying for things that are just cheaply made. I mean, not everything, but sometimes you'll just get thrown away and forget about it. So, Yeah.
This is why we have a harder time paying a lot of money for like meals at Disney because yes, everybody has to eat and everything, but like it's there and it's consumed and then it's gone.
Right.
Whereas like experience, you can relive and like oh, it was so cool that we got to do that, and I think that's part of why we don't do as many like table service restaurants as we may other people do, but
Well, it's twofold. I mean, that's not what we're, at least right now, maybe in the future we do, but that's not really what we're known for on the show to cover.
that's true.
Second, our children sometimes can be insane.
That's true.
You know, it's hard to, like, let's go to fine dining with, you know, and then our children are basically holding court or, you know, whatever they're doing, just wrestling in the floor, whatever. But
Yeah.
the other thing is, I don't know, for me, as I've gotten better at cooking, I find I don't know. I honestly think table service and like food in general since COVID, not even just at Disney, just in terms of the world, has taken a hit in terms of like what you get for your money, the service, the food itself, things like that. So, but yeah, I mean, not to say in the future we won't do more. We probably will.
We
do
will.
more food. But as of right now, in the stage of our life, it's not something that we currently really concentrate on. So
Not a ton. Again, experience is everything.
I'm also a simple man.
He is a simple
You give
man.
me meat and something to drink. I eat mostly meat now, so it's just sort of
Yes.
like, what side would you like?
Like
More meat? I don't know.
Potatoes, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway, so thank you everybody for participating in the poll this week. I will have a new poll next week.
Yes, and if you want to be a part of the next poll time, you can do that in two ways. You can join the Capture the Magic Facebook community, and
Community.
it's a great spot if you got questions, just want to meet like-minded people, and also over on Instagram at Cap the Magic. Jamie posts those in the stories over there, so you can vote in one or both places there, whatever your choosing is. So
Absolutely.
All right, well, let's get to our debate segment.
Yeah, we're beefing. We got beef.
I feel like this is more of like, did you ever take speech class and you had to like take a side that you didn't really believe in?
Yep.
I could do it.
Yep.
Listen, I could. Sometimes you don't know what I actually believe and what I don't believe. I can take sides.
Which one do we like more? You'll never know.
So this debate, I guess we're calling it debate. I don't know how contentious this is going to be. Is rope drop versus like park close?
Like
So-
which one is better? Which
Right.
one is the better option?
Yeah.
Now the answer, obviously, for some people would say both. We're just gonna go one or the other for this one.
Yeah, and so Jamie's going to take rope dropping. I'm going to take park close, and I will resort to character assassination. I will do that. I'm just kidding.
He's not going to. If he does, he's in trouble.
I won't do that. But
Okay.
fine. I will do light ad hominem attacks. Okay.
Okay. So what we'll do is kind of how you do it in like a regular like debate setting where someone goes on the affirmative and someone's on the defense, and then we'll switch.
Okay.
So
Listen, this is your idea, so you take it away.
Okay. All right.
I will just do what I normally do, which is just roll with it and go on the fly.
So I'll just give like a statement and kind of back up a little bit, and then he is gonna counter and be like, well, but also this and this and this, and then we'll switch and he'll do his pro stance. So okay.
You think you know what I'll do.
I do. Okay. Okay. So the first thing, obviously, rope drop. We need to explain what that means. So rope drop is basically, they used to have an actual rope. Sometimes they do. In some of the parks, they actually have a rope in front of you, and they physically drop it and let you in the park for the day. So rope drop is done differently in each park. We're not going to go into how each park does it, but basically you're there before the park opens, either early entry or for a regular park opening, and you're just one of the first ones there is basically what it is. Okay. So one reason that rope drop is amazing is that the temperatures are cooler in the morning. So like summer, for example, it's, gets up to mid 90s on a good day. But you can still be in the, mid upper 70s pretty early in the morning and spend a lot of the morning in the 80s, and it doesn't get too hot then.
If you're going in January.
I just said in the summer too, man.
I don't know about that. In the summer, it still gets pretty hot.
Well, I'm just saying in the mornings, it's still
It's
in
cooler.
the 80s.
It is cooler in the
or
mornings.
It
is true.
That's my stance there. And same thing with in the winter. It's cooler in the mornings, but there's also sweatshirts. Okay.
True. So, and this is where I rebuttal that point.
This is the rebuttal.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. While yes, it is cooler in the mornings, but the problem with that is too, what you have to look forward to is more heat and more crowds because it gets hotter and it gets more crowded as your day goes. So, obviously some people aren't morning people, so that may not fit into their schedule. If you go at night, the only thing you have to look more forward to is it gets cooler And I think the parks have a cooler, different vibe at night. Sometimes a little bit more relaxed. Some people, leave. They don't come back to the parks later. So you may not have the same crowd levels first thing in the morning, but I do think the vibe is a bit different. And when you get done with the parks, you can go have dinner. You can go have, a drink somewhere. It's just a little bit more relaxed and chill. And I think ultimately, temperature-wise, about the same probably in the evening as you do first thing in the morning, I would say.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, now it's your turn to make your pro stance, and I will rebut it.
Well, I would say I'm not going to act like rope dropping doesn't have its benefits, but by going later, you get the all-important encompassing sleep. You get a little bit more sleep maybe by not sleeping in. People are in better moods. You enjoy your trip a bit more. Being sleepy on a trip, first off, you're not as likely to get sick. Have some more fun. Parents are more rested. Children are more rested. I feel like you potentially have a better time. You have more sleep, able to enjoy it a bit more, and not be so stressed. Because sometimes rope dropping as well, pretty stressful.
Fair. However, if you have kids on your trip, are you really sleeping in?
Depends on the ages.
Are you sleeping in? If you've got little kids, forget about it. You're not sleeping in anyway. Might as well get up. Second thing is, if you decide that you want to sleep in and you do close the night, what if you want to rope drop the next day? You'd be super duper tired.
Well, I mean, it depends on what you call rope dropping. Not every park's closed. Like they close at like 8 or 9.
I'm just saying it might mess up your day.
Who's going to bed at like 9 o'clock on a vacation?
Lots of people do.
I don't know about that.
Lots of people do. I'm just saying, with kids or little kids, they're up early. You're not sleeping in much. Even if you have like teens who are just like, ready to go to the parks too. Are you really sleeping until like 10 o'clock? I mean, come on.
I'm not saying you got to sleep till 10, but like also maybe don't want to get up at like 6. Somewhere in the middle there.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so along with those lines, if you make it to rope drop, you're up early already, you can get virtual queues for, say, Tiana's or Tron or Guardians of the Galaxy. You're going to be up for the virtual queues. If you go late, you're going to miss those.
Well, considering there's no late options of those, there's really no rebuttal with that. I would argue that it's a flawed system in which that Disney is putting upon you. Therefore, I would rail against the system.
In that case, you have to buy Lightning Lane for those.
You would have to.
Yep.
Or you just protest by not participating in their system. That's what I would do.
Well, I think I win that one.
Well, you brought up a point like there's no really like defense for it. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying. Hey, this is a debate, man. What are you gonna do? Sorry. What's your next one?
Well, my next argument would be a lot of people rope drop, obviously, to ride. Usually it's to ride a single ride that they really want to ride. Get in there early, and I understand the thought process behind that. But you can actually also do it if you close out the park, because a lot of people don't know this, but let's say the park closes at 9 o'clock, and if you're in line before park closes, you get to ride that ride before, everybody in that line gets to run through it, and then, the employees, everybody has to stay to get that ride, all the people that are in that line through it. So if you want to ride, let's say, Flight of Passage, you could rope drop. You're going to be dealing with a lot of people also rope dropping it. You also have to deal with the Lightning Lane people as well. Versus if you do it at night, say park closes at 9, you get in line at like 8:50, you're going to get to ride, and you don't have the Lightning Lane running because technically the park is closed, so that line moves a bit quicker. And you can, a lot of times, I've ridden Flight of Passage when it, at doing this method where it maybe was 20, 30 minute wait on a day where normally it was at 70, 80, 90 minutes wait. So I would argue you could also more or less one specific ride, but you can also be able to ride a ride that you really want to do at night as well.
So like reverse rope drop.
Kind of. It's just taking advantage of the fact that once you're in line, you're going to get to ride. Even if you're in line after the park closes, you were in the line before it closed.
Okay, but what if this happens? What if you are waiting to go to the park? You don't go until the evening or late afternoon. You're waiting until park closed to ride, say, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. And an hour, 30 minutes before the park closes, the ride goes down. then you are SOL to ride that at all.
Well, that same thing can happen in the morning. Sometimes
Yeah,
the
but in
rides
the
don't open.
morning you have more time. More time to allotted to actually like
Are you
experience it.
banking on Tiana's Bite Adventure opening back up on a morning where it doesn't open? Because
Listen,
that's
this one
let
is
me
a
ask you this.
realistic. That's a
You're
realistic one right there.
A gambling person. If you're like, no, we're gonna wait this one out.
That one though, that one's sticky in the morning or at night. So really, like
That one's
you
just
just can't.
iffy, regardless. Which is crazy because it technically is the newest ride in all the parks. But
Yep.
I mean, there is
true.
always a risk of a ride going down, whether it's rope dropping or doing it at night. That's always a risk you're going to run. But
Yeah.
all things being equal, you can do both.
Yeah. And to that point, also just pointing out that you could also get in line like first thing in the morning for, like Flight of Passage or Seven Dwarfs without Lightning Lane have started anyway if you do early entry.
Well, if you have early
So that
entry.
would also go quicker.
But that's a different conversation. You didn't mention early entry in your rope dropping scenario.
Okay, sorry, just regular rope drop. Also still have lower lines where Lightning Lane may have started already, but may not have many people join yet. So you could still have lower crowds. Still a little bit.
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay. All right. So, my next one is, and this is, I don't know if a lot of people do this because they do want to be riding rides, but it's really nice to just take it kind of easy in the morning, just on certain mornings. You just get a coffee, enjoy like the nice like morning, walking down Main Street, or even like, being at Epcot and walking in the gardens area, or on Sunset Boulevard to Hollywood Studios, like enjoying coffee and just taking it easy. It's nice in the mornings.
As the ambassador of the night, I would ask that you quit stealing our platform, because that's what you do in the evenings. Okay, you're not rope dropping for ambiance. You're rope dropping to get things done. All right.
You could rope drop for coffee and walk around.
Again,
Absolutely,
please
you
quit
can.
stealing our platform.
Oh my gosh.
The nighttime is the right time for relaxation. Okay, to walk around, enjoy things.
What
okay.
did you say? Ambassador of darkness?
I am the ambassador of the darkness
Isn't
of the
that
nighttime.
Batman or something?
Maybe I'm Batman. I don't know. Thank you, but I don't remember exactly what I said. I think I said ambassador of the nighttime. Either way.
Oh, something.
Either way, you said
All
I'm
right.
Batman. I take that. But I'm just saying, quit taking our platform. Okay, this is what we do.
But I'm saying, like, you're not going to have coffee at night.
I have coffee at night all the time.
Yeah, I guess you do.
And you're on vacation. Maybe have a drink or a cocktail walking around. I mean, you can't at Magic Kingdom, but
That's true, too.
I'm just saying, don't steal our platform.
Okay, fine.
Who's
I won't
rope
share.
dropping first thing in the morning to walk around for ambiance?
Some people, Jared, some people want, like,
It'll
let their
be-
family go and ride rides,
it'll
and they're
be-
like, let me get my coffee
It'll be
first.
you and like two other people.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying.
And you guys be the
rope dropping-
coalition of the morning time.
Well, rope dropping doesn't have to just mean riding all the rides. It could mean like, yes, you want to get there early to experience less crowds for stuff like that, like
I
leisure
feel like
walks.
the
and
percent
shopping.
okay, the percentage of people that are rope dropping to do that, I'm gonna guess, is somewhere near above and below 4%.
Okay, fine. Why 4%?
I don't know.
This is a random.
Because
number.
everybody expected me to probably say 5 or 10. I'm like, maybe 4. 3.5.
Okay. All right. What's your next one?
Well, as the ambassador of the nighttime, again, I would say if you wanted to enjoy a nice date, you would do this at night with your significant other and hang out and enjoy a leisurely stroll as you try to steal from us, as walking around enjoying things. I feel like this is the thing you do at the nighttime. This is a great date, date night time to do that. People don't go on dates first thing in the mornings.
You could do day dates. You could do day dates.
Day date and morning dates are very different things.
Okay. So first thing in the morning.
I don't know who's doing
rope
morning.
dropping
I don't know
date.
who's doing morning dates out here.
You might have got me with that one. I don't think I have a response to that. You're right. There's a lot of like date night and at night stuff to do for dates, not just in the morning. You could, but yeah.
I feel like there's
That's
a
a
joke
hard
in there
one.
somewhere.
What?
I don't know.
Okay. I
don't know.
All right. Well, I think you got me with that one. Okay. One for me here is with the new lightning lane system. You're going to get a lot more lightning lanes if you start by rope dropping and start using them right away. Because lightning lanes at night now, you can't stack more than 3.
It's true. We are hampered by a flawed system. This is true.
Yes.
Many of our coalition benefits are many times thwarted by people who try to limit our capabilities. And this is another case of that. So,
I don't even know what you're saying.
I'm just saying.
Your coalition of something. I don't know.
Listen, I have coalitions and different things. But yeah, I mean, there's no, listen, I can't make an argument against that.
Okay.
The system is holding us back.
What system? Okay, whatever.
What do you mean, what
Anyway.
system? The lightning lane, multi-pass, multi-faceted, multi-single rider, premier pass, whatever pass thing they have.
Okay.
The 19 different options. Just go
Yes.
back to fast pass.
Okay, fine.
It's fast pass, but anyways.
All right, your turn.
Well, I think the main benefit to going at night is one that I don't believe you have a rebuttal for this. Being as you have tried to steal our platform just in the past couple of points, but at nighttime you have fireworks. You can enjoy fireworks shows.
Yeah, you can.
And you could do fireworks in the daytime, but
It's not as good.
I don't think you're gonna.
Not as
I
great.
don't think it's gonna be very good.
My only rebuttal of that would be the Festival of Fantasy Parade.
The coalition of the nighttime would like to strike that from the record because it's just silly.
It's not
Okay, it's
silly.
fine. It's a fine parade,
legit,
but
it's
a
not
nighttime parade and a
fireworks.
daytime parade are not nearly as cool.
Yeah, I know. That one hurts. That one hurts me.
Nighttime parades and shows are just better. And the fact that Disney has had a nighttime parade for like a decade is crazy.
Yeah, well, we're getting one next year.
It only took Epic
2025.
Universe. It only took Epic Universe to get a nighttime parade. Like when is Disney going to do a nighttime parade? Hey, your biggest competitor is building a brand new theme park. Nighttime parade. That's what we're going to do. Do it now. Like, why didn't you do this a decade ago? Don't give people what they want until you have to.
Until we have to.
Until we're forced
Right.
to do it.
Okay, so here's one you may not have a rebuttal for. Ha ha ha. All the character meet and greets, all the characters out and about are out in the morning and like early afternoon. By nighttime, they're usually gone.
I guess it would depend on if you're a fan of characters and meet and greets.
Yeah, but like, okay, so let's say you're not going to be able to see those at night.
Is that true? I mean, there's still characters around at night.
There's some.
Yeah.
There's some.
Maybe not
but
as many.
A lot of them stop, meeting, at least the ones that are outside. I'm thinking of like Max and Goofy and like Donald and Daisy at like Hollywood Studios. They're done by like 5:00.
True.
So if you're wanting to see some of those characters, you may not be able to see all of them if you're going at night.
True. That's a valid point.
It's a valid point.
Okay. My point would yet again be some rides are cooler at night in terms of views you have and different experience, which is one thing I do like about the parks is I think like really good theme parks take on a very different vibe at night. And I feel like rides are different. Like it's really great when a ride can be one experience during the day and one experience at night. And sometimes it's better at night.
Yeah. The lighting is good. Like Big Thunder, for example. The lighting at Big Thunder is really awesome. Castle view. You can see the castle really well. And if you time it just right on like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, you can see the fireworks like go off as you're like on the ride.
Man, I
which is
can't
pretty
wait
cool.
for those great views when you're on Big Thunder and you're just like, there's a bunch of cars. It'd be so great. Just look at that. Look at those cars just going around in circles. So much fun.
You don't.
I can't wait.
Oh,
The ambiance will be immeasurable.
sorry. You're so funny. It's true. Okay. Well,
I don't have anything.
I don't
I'm just
have
like,
anything else. I mean, you're right though. There are really good views at night. I would just say maybe like it's easier to see more things during the day.
Well, light does help you see things.
Light
this is
helps
true.
you see.
This
Yeah,
is true.
It does.
You bring up a valid point I can't argue with.
Yeah. You know what's something I've never done? This is on a tangent a little bit. I've never done Expedition Everest at night.
Okay.
I've
Well,
never done it at night.
Animal Kingdom also closes at 3:00. So it's very difficult to do.
It's hard to do. You're not wrong. Yeah. So I've never done it at night, and I've heard that the views are amazing up there at night. I mean, I've seen them
can
out
see
during the
that.
day,
Yeah.
but so that's definitely something.
Little
to
known
consider.
fact, you can rope drop and close out the park in Animal Kingdom within a couple hours of each other.
Yeah.
Best of both worlds.
Pretty easy.
I'm being a little facetious here. A little, but
Yeah.
not that much.
Okay, so one of mine is I say usually, I'm gonna say most of the time, usually your waits for like transportation are less in the morning. Like getting on the buses, there's not as many people.
Do you have stats to back that up?
I don't have stats. See, that's the thing. I say usually.
See, I feel like this is a feeling thing.
It's a feeling. It depends. Oh, so if you get it for rope drop, like if you get, let's say the park opens at 9:00 and early entry is at 8:30, but you are ready, you're getting on to your bus or Skyliner or the monorail at like 7:30, you're not gonna have many people there. It's gonna be pretty good.
Right.
So in that case, yes, transportation be good.
I feel like I'm gonna need some hard data on
But
this.
after fireworks, like if you stay and the park closes at 9 and fireworks are at 9, so it's the last thing you're gonna do. When you leave that park, it's gonna be crazy busy getting on like buses, especially, or getting on the ferry or getting on the monorail like at Magic Kingdom to go back to your car.
Yeah, which is why at nighttime, even if you don't want to stay in the parks, I just tell people like just hang out.
Just hang out.
For like 10 or 15 minutes
Yep.
instead of, especially if you have a stroller, instead of fighting crowds. If you just give it a little bit of time, it clears out. They're pretty efficient at clearing people out of there. So if you just give it 10, 20, 30 minutes, your level of frustration, I think, at the crowds leaving will be much better.
Yeah. It's true.
Maybe go get a snack or something. I don't know. Just hang out.
Yeah.
The kids can
That's
always be
true.
asleep in a
You could
stroller
do
or
that.
something. Yeah.
I mean, if your kids aren't melting down.
I'm just not to
You
the
could do that.
point where I'm just like, unless there's just, we have to get back for whatever reason, which I don't know, we've had that before we left, but typically I'll just wait. I would much rather deal with less crowds and less stress and just like be a little later getting back to the resort or something versus trying to fight the stampede leaving.
Yeah.
That's just me though.
This is you.
But in terms of what your point being, I would need to see some hard data.
Okay, fine. I don't have any hard data.
Yeah.
I just
around
I'm
here,
assuming.
the Coalition of the Nighttime, we concentrate on provable facts.
Is that your team name? Coalition of Nighttime?
I don't know. And vibes.
Just vibes.
And vibes.
Vibes.
We also go with vibes.
Oh my.
Well, I would think a benefit to being at the parks, later in the day is when it comes to getting like pictures. Everybody loves pictures in theme parks, right? I would say the worst thing to do is to take a picture that you want to cherish as a memory at like 3:00 in the afternoon.
Or like noon.
Yeah. Terrible. The sun's it's gonna be bad. Now, first
Terrible
time in the
lighting.
morning, like you could, but most people want to ride rides. So in the evening time, in the nighttime, I think you get better pictures.
Well, and you're right. Thinking about like if you were to stay at least 30, 45 minutes, maybe an hour or more past park closing, there's not like any people around.
Yeah.
You can
get
take some
pictures.
really good like
And there's usually photo pass
icon
photographers out
pictures.
and stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, they're still out there. They're still out there past park closing, but not
Yeah.
very long after.
And the benefits of being at nighttime, your pictures won't potentially be you just drenched in sweat.
drenched.
You can just be, lightly sweaty.
That's true.
Because nothing like taking a family picture just nude midday in Florida. Everyone gather for the family picture. Did you guys go swimming? We did not.
Okay, here's one. Your feet don't hurt first thing in the morning yet. You got fresh feet.
Well, I mean, my argument would be if you go later in the parks, you get the same thing.
Yeah, but by the end of the night, by closing after the park is closing, like your feet could hurt by then.
It sounds like a skill issue.
Are you wearing the right shoes?
Yeah. No, I don't know.
What's your rebuttal, Jared?
Get better shoes.
Get better shoes.
Condition your
Okay.
feet better. I don't know.
Okay. That's fair.
Stretch.
That's fair. I'm just saying, like,
Do some calisthenics.
to start your day, you're not already tired unless you just didn't sleep that night or something.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of factors that go into this. How's your nutrition? There's all sorts of things that could go into this.
That's true.
I mean, I suppose it depends on, obviously we have children
We do.
and our kids are with us a lot of the times we're in the parks, but I would say in the evening times, I'm thinking more or less maybe like Epcot, like not as many kids will be around. So if you're looking for more of
like World Showcase.
yeah, like if you're looking more for just like, on a date night or just more like, doing things without screaming children, I suppose, you have a better shot at that at night. Granted, you're still in a theme park for families, but, Epcot especially, I think you'd see less kids in the nighttime.
That's legit. That's legit. Yeah. I mean, especially like the really, really small kids, you may not see as much at night. That's true.
I mean, you're still
see them in the morning.
You're still going to see kids at night. I mean, it's vacation, but given to like Epcot World Showcase in the evening time, it's not really like a haven for kids. Really, it's mostly adults back there.
Yeah, that's a good point. Less kids at night. That's a good point.
If that's a perk for you.
That's a perk for you. Yeah. This is kind of generally speaking, but like I feel like if you rope drop and you stay, let's say like 4 hours, 5 hours, I feel like you'll feel accomplished because of all the stuff you're able to do in the morning and get it done quickly before all the people come in, like, early afternoon. I feel like you feel more accomplished and, oh my gosh, all that stuff we did.
Well, I would say you're on vacation, ideally. So accomplishing, let's just enjoy ourselves.
Well, you can enjoy yourself and feel accomplished. I didn't know if you knew that.
I enjoy accomplishments all the time. I'm just saying on vacation, maybe not. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. You could feel just as accomplished in the nighttime as well. You get some things done. It just depends on how you want to go about your day. Okay. Also, I would say you probably have less people to deal with when it comes to like if you want to do shopping in the evening, except for park close.
Like if you're trying at park closing is busy, but if you wait until like after, like again 30, 45 minutes after park closing, it's not busy at all. Yeah. So that is true. However, if you go shopping first thing, if you decide not to ride rides and you get your coffee and you're walking, you're strolling, as this person is doing, and they're like, I think I'm going to go shopping first thing. Again, not too bad.
True. Okay.
It's not too bad at all.
Okay.
Basically, like early evening till like right at park closing. Yeah. Shopping is busy.
True.
It's true.
True.
Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, too, crowds are lower first thing in the morning. I don't know. Except, rope drop at like Magic Kingdom, there's a lot of people. You're just around a lot of people in this little tiny space waiting for the rope drop.
True.
So you feel crowded then, but like, again, you get a lot of rides done really early in the morning, like we've been saying.
It's true. I mean, given I was just forced into this position for a debate. I actually agree. I mean, I see both ways. I think rope dropping has its benefits. You want to get things done. But I mean, the nighttime, I do enjoy the evening time. Like, I feel like theme parks, Disney ones and like, you talk about with Universal and stuff, like parks take on a different atmosphere at night, which I typically, for the most part, enjoy. I really wish Animal Kingdom was open later because I think like Pandora at night is a really cool feature that you don't get to experience much. Yeah. And things like that. So I you can you could get more things done rope dropping when it comes to like rides and things. But I think the one thing I was talking about with the main, one big ride you want to do, that strategy can work at night though. And sometimes it actually can be less wait times versus trying to rope drop like a very popular ride. Sometimes because everybody's going to try and go to that ride. So, and something I think that could benefit the Nighttime Coalition here would be that some rides, we'll just say Rise of the Resistance, and if Tiana's decides to run that day, aren't open at rope drop many times. They typically, like, whatever, they wake up late, and sometimes they're not open until later in the day, so you have a better shot sometimes in the evenings. Or sometimes they're just down all day and you can't ride them at all. But yeah, some rides just don't open at rope drop.
Like, for example, when we went to Hollywood Studios the other day, Rise of the Resistance didn't open until 10:45. So if you're going there to rope drop it and you get there and it's not open, that kind of skews your whole day. Yeah. You're going to have to do a plan B kind of thing. So, any other arguments for closing a park, Jared?
It's kind of cool to close out a park, I guess. Like, it's unique. Like
What do you mean cool?
Like, it's just different.
Yeah.
Like, if you're there, like, I've been in Epcot. I remember I did a dining thing where it was at Rose and Crown. And so, like, when you got done, the park was closed. So, like, walking through the park when nobody else is there, it's kind of cool. Like, you don't really get to do that often. But, I mean, it's, I think the arguments for the nighttime would mostly be, I guess I would just call it vibes. It'd be much less lower stress, just more relaxing, like strolling. Like, you're not really on. I feel like rope dropping, you're on a mission to get stuff done. Mm-hmm. You're on a what do you want to call it? Like a mission to have fun. Versus in the evening time, you're much more maybe like strolling around, not as much on a mission. Maybe you're like, oh, if this is open, we'll do this. Like, I feel like it's much more relaxed in that way, I guess.
Yeah.
At least in my head.
I mean, things like dessert parties.
Yeah.
They're not during the day. They're at night.
That's the thing. There are some,
You know,
if you did that
there's a
dessert
lot of
party,
stuff
then
that's
you
not-
went and, you checked out Trader Sam's. Like, there's a lot of things you can do at night. You go over to the Polynesian and, have dinner and stuff. So,
Yeah.
it obviously depends on your situation. If you got little kids, if you're just there, as a couple or something, or by yourself, like, there's a lot of scenarios in which you can make an argument either way.
One thing I will say is if you rope drop, usually you can avoid, like if you're going in the summer, you can avoid some showers, some late afternoon showers.
That's
but
true.
you could also do that at night too. You could also get there after it's rained. So
Yeah.
that doesn't help my argument.
Well, here's the question. If you had to choose, I mean, would you rather, I think I know your answer, would you rather rope drop or go,
Oh, so you're asking me
Park.
which one I would rather do based
Yeah.
on what we just talked about?
or like go to the park later?
I mean, it really depends on what my plan is for that day. Like if I am going to the park mainly to get as many rides as I can done, if I want to meet characters, if I am getting some virtual queues, yeah, I would rope drop.
Yeah.
But if I'm going, like you said, for a more relaxed vibe, if it's like a date night, if I want to watch the fireworks, if I want to catch maybe one or two big rides without a lot of wait and catch them at the end of the night, then I would close the park. Personally, for me, we stay up pretty late in regular life.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not hard for us to close out a park. Like staying late is not hard for us. So I would be more apt if it was just you and I to close out a park.
Yeah, and it depends. Like, I would rather in the evening times if we're doing like food and wine. To me, that would be much more of an evening thing. I'd
Yeah.
rather do it then. So,
Although food and wine booths, sometimes they close early.
well, yeah, true. But ideally speaking,
Yeah.
that's kind of the way I would look at it. But yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sure there are more reasons on either side, but I think I would rather close a park, and I think you would too. Right? Would you rather?
It depends. Like, I see the benefits of rope dropping. I mean, I think we can
Yeah.
agree that just midday, just don't do that. That's just hot and
I mean, unless
rainy.
you want to watch Festival Fantasy Parade, I avoid the hours from like 1 to 5.
I would rather go back to the hotel and relax or something and
Yeah.
take it easy. But yeah, but
If you do choose to do both, rope drop, leave at 1, return at 5 or 6, and finish your day.
there you go. Well, I don't know who won this debate. I suppose let us know in the comments if you're watching on
win?
YouTube
Who win?
who you agree with, and let us know if you're over on the Facebook group or on Instagram. Let us know which one you think is the winner here or what you would rather do. But I think each have their own benefit
Absolutely.
and drawbacks.
I think I won. I'm just kidding.
The coalition of the night will not concede. We'll put it that way.
The coalition of the day. I don't know. Coalition of the day sounds terrible. I'll think of something else.
All right, that's fair. All right. All right, well, that will do it for that segment and the show. But be sure to check us out on social media at Cap the Magic everywhere except for TikTok. We're at Capture the Magic. Also, be sure to check out ctmapparelco.com for all the new shirts. We got some Halloween shirts coming up and obviously some Christmas ones and some new designs are going to be hitting the shop very soon. Also, if you want your house to smell great, you want it to smell like fall, 1901candleco.com. You can also get some great scents for your home. And it can smell like the wonderful Main Street in the fall. And you can have that smell all day long if you like. That's one of the fall favorites on there. But yeah, check that out. And then, of course, if you're a member of Club 32, you get 25% off of both of those as well as you can check that out, ctmvip.com. Be sure to check us out on the other shows on the network. We have the CTM Universal show where we talk about Universal Studios. And we've had a lot more shows lately because there's been a lot of news coming out from Universal. So we actually had 3 this month.
We did.
And normally that is twice a month. And then once Epic Universe opens, that'll become a weekly show. But we'll have one there. We're going to do Halloween Horror Nights coming up. And we'll have another one there next Monday, probably.
This coming Monday is Trip Tales, but yeah, the one after that.
I meant the one after that.
Yes.
After we do that. So we'll have one there. So that's twice a month. You can check it out on here or its own feed. You can also check out Trip Tales, which is Jamie's trip report show. Like we said, she'll have one there coming out on Monday.
Yep. And then I'll have another one closer to the end of September as well.
There you go. And if you want to be on Trip Tales, go to ctmtriptales.com, and there's a form there you can fill out. And Jamie, about your trip coming up, and then if Jamie's interested, she will let you know.
Yes.
So, but that will do it for the show. So thank you, everybody, for listening and or watching. And thank you, Jamie, for joining us.
Thank you.
And as Jamie always likes to say,
we will see you in the parks.
Bye.